Hello, everyone. IMS welcomes you all to our webinar series, Future You, Set Your Career Compass Right with Experts Insight. And I am Kalyani Majumdar, your host for today's webinar. So today we are continuing with careers in marketing. And in this session, we'll be focusing on brand management. So in this webinar, you'll find out about what is the role of a brand manager, how is brand management different from product management, what kind of growth can one expect in brand management in the FMCG sector vis-a-vis a non-FMCG sector, what are the various job opportunities available, key skills required to excel in brand management, and more. So today for this session, our speaker is Abhishek Varghese. He's a brand manager with Amul. He's an alumnus of MICA and is also a guest faculty at MICA teaching brand management and media economics. Abhishek has more than 8 years of work experience in handling various aspects of marketing, which he'll be talking about. And of course, he has been with Amul for more than 6 years. So welcome, Abhishek Varghese, and thank you so much for being here today for this session.
Thank you, Kalyani, for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to join here and be a part of this forum to share my experiences, my learnings over the past 8 years.
Yeah. So let's start with your career trajectory from MICA to Amul. Can you talk a little bit about how exactly brand management happened? As in, was that the career path you had chosen already before joining MICA, or what exactly? How did it work for you?
I joined MICA in 2013, and when I joined, I was with this intention that I want to be a brand manager.
Okay.
Right? Because I had worked before MICA for 2 years.
Okay.
And I got a chance to work with some clients who were brand managers, because in the advertising industry, if you see, there are 3 key stakeholders: a publisher, an agency, and an advertiser.
Correct.
So some of my experiences with them were very enriching, and that kind of inspired me to try out this opportunity. So I came to MICA, and why MICA was very simple, because I worked in sales for 2 years.
Okay.
And I got a chance to learn, or at least experience, various aspects of marketing. And so when MICA happened, I saw that there is in their specializations, they had something called brand management specialization, which was unlike many of the other Premier B schools which they offer. So I took it up and I joined it, and there I got to learn about advertising management, brand management, channel management, etc. But most importantly, one thing which was very critical as a brand manager is sales and distribution, which was also a part of this entire course structure, which builds you better, understands, because nobody can be a brand manager unless they understand the sales and distribution system.
Yeah.
So, doing all this for 2 years, I then in 2015 joined Amul. I was a management trainee with various batchmates from IIM Ahmedabad, IRMA, and various other Premium B schools. We had an intensive 3 months training based across the country, as well as across different functions of the organization. Sales, purchase, finance, just to understand the various scopes that go behind the scenes, right in the business. So that gave me a lot of learning opportunity. And post the training was completed, I was stationed in Anand. Anand is a small town, a small city, I would say, between Ahmedabad and Baroda. So I've been here since last 6 years. Kind of role that I got into in head office was largely in advertising. So I was stationed, I was assigned the advertising department. I worked largely on campaigns. There are a lot of campaigns that we do. So some of the iconic campaigns, as we all know, is the Amul Girl campaign, or what media would be relevant for it, which markets you should advertise it, or we have also done some extensive campaigns called like National Mill Day, which we do every year in November, or let's say execution like campaigns where let's start doing it in activations in Indian Super League. Or so on and so forth. So that's how my career has been over the last, I would say, 6 years. And it's been exciting and going on since then.
Okay, so let's now talk about what exactly is brand management and what exactly is the role of a brand manager. But this is independent of which sector you are in. So what is exactly the role of a brand manager? And then, we'll then break the question into various sectors. Yeah.
So I would say the most simplest layman way, a brand manager is like a parent to a child. As simple as that, right?
Okay.
if you're irrespective of the industry, whether you are in FMCG or automobile or telecom or pharma, a brand manager is the custodian of that product or of that service that is being offered, right?
Okay.
So anything that goes around that product has to be taken care by the brand manager.
Okay.
So if I am, let's say, a brand manager in a telecom industry, largely I will try to ensure services I'm offering should reach to the concerned. But now to educate, I will also have to educate that audience that such a product is available.
Correct. Yeah.
I will also have a sales team who I need to educate about how to sell the product.
Right.
Right. And so on and so forth. The same applies in telecom also, in automobile also, where you have a car or a bike, right?
Right.
And in FMCG with the numerous products that anybody sells, right?
Okay.
Whether it's milk or whether it is butter or chocolates or biscuits for that matter.
Okay.
So this is, in the most simplest way what it is, but if you see function wise, there are a lot of sub elements that you have to take care of. Okay. You need to coordinate with a lot of teams because many a times, these are individual functions which are taken care by individual stakeholders in the organization.
Okay.
Just to give an example, say you're launching a product. Each product has a particular tax. Like say today GST is there. So every product has a particular tax, which means it is a certain criteria it has to fulfill. There is a sales team, which there's somebody who has to package it.
Correct.
Right? So there'll be one agency who will design it, one supplier who will make it, and one team who will prepare the product, package it, and then ship it in trucks to the cities.
Right.
Then there'll be a sales team who will, take that product, give it to a distributor, and then to the nearest Kirana shop that is available in your house.
Right.
So there are so many stakeholders in this entire ecosystem.
Okay.
And so since there are so many people, somebody has to be there to guide them, to ensure that, at the last moment when the customer buys that product, his experience is as good as what you had perceived it to be.
Okay.
So in marketing, for example, there are 4 P's. There is the product, the price, the placement, and the promotion.
Correct.
So typically, I think one of the things that you were probably going to ask is about the product manager and So I'll just give you in a simplest way. A brand manager traditionally was thought to be someone who's more on the media front, communicating front.
Correct.
And the product guy was more on the back end doing all these
things.
Yes. But in the FMCG space, if you see, the roles are actually one, because of the 4 P's. I need to, if I'm a brand manager in an FMCG company, I need to ensure that the back end of my production, if let's say I'm a brand manager of butter, I need to know how much butter will I be able to make. Okay. I need to also have some kind of projections as to.
As a brand manager, you need to know.
I need to know all of this. I need to, because there will be different people who will be doing it, but I need to be able to plan. Say, for example, now festive season abhi aa raha hai, mithaiyan ban rahi. People are going to go out, enjoy. So ghee ka bahut consumption hoga.
Right.
So we need to be able to make ghee, and then also ensure that if August and September mein a lot of requirement aayegi, we should be able to ensure that we are making so much, packaging it so.
But why a brand manager would be looking at these aspects in a FMCG sector? Is it because the distribution and the ads that go there need to be hand in hand, or what is it? Yeah.
So that's exactly the point I was saying. So as I said, there are the 4 P's. We can only in FMCG. The thing is, the basic mantra is "Jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai."
Okay. Yeah.
So if I have to have the best campaigns, I can only ensure if that product is available at your nearest shop.
Correct.
Or on a big basket or Amazon or Reliance or a DMart.
Yeah.
So for that, so in this hierarchy, there's a logic to this hierarchy, and therefore earlier they were 2 separate entities doing working together. But largely the decision making or the influence has to be of the brand manager, because in each market. Let's say, again, I'm giving a simple example. Butter, for example, we'll be able to sell a lot more in, say, northern part of India or western part of India, because there's a natural habit, it's part of the diet.
Correct.
but may not be in some other parts of India.
Okay.
So a brand manager has to ensure that even though I'm the market leader, I need to ensure that the products are distributed in a certain way in North, in a certain manner in South. Say example, butter cake aisi le lete hain.
Okay.
Everybody eats 100 grams of butter, which is very easy economic, price point, economical as well. But say if I want to increase your habit of eating it, I will start also providing you a convenience pack. Tub, आपका 100 ग्राम बटर ब्लॉक slab आता है. But if you want to store it easily, I would say try it in 200 grams. So 100 का 200 ही किया मैंने. But then your willingness to buy increased. Or if you go to any of the hotels of where you're having breakfast, आपको छोटा अमूल बटर का वो chiclet. So that's another way to increase. Now, if that thing was not there, probably आप jam ले लेते या some gravy ले लेते with the parathas or with the bread.
Right.
So these kind of nuances, you have to, as a brand manager, you have to understand. Okay. And communicate in the media also. So if let's say I want to increase consumption, or if I will say in ghee we have a positioning which says 1 chammach Amul ghee. Now, if you see, it's a very simple line. It says 1 chammach Amul ghee, but it also says कि आप हर दिन 1 chammach Amul ghee डालिए. And in that ad, if you see,
so it's many increasing. Correct.
Showing different occasions, different consumers who are going to have that product. So the communication builds on the fact how your, the first 3 P's, whether you're able to have the right product, right kind of pricing, and right kind of placement, so that you can communicate effectively.
Okay. So a brand manager role, if you have to just tell it briefly, as in what all are the salient points that a brand manager does, can you just tell me that?
From a very functional point of view, one is product management is a subset here. Okay. Everything about backend, right? He or she needs to know about the distribution network, which is why sales and distribution is very important. Right. Because the way each city, let's take a simple example. People often say Delhi and Bombay are not the same. Correct. Right. Even the roads, culture, habit, and the type of people who stay there. Right. So this kind of feedback aapko sales team se milta hai. Because they are daily working with the kind of people. Yeah. So that's why I said this. The second, you need to know about what happens and be in touch with them. And the last part is where the communication comes, where media comes.
Where media comes. Okay.
If I want to reach out to a customer in Delhi or Bombay or Calcutta, I will go.
The communication will change.
Then the communication will change. And therefore, I will choose a particular communication medium. Yeah. Say television or print. Because let's say if I want to give a very detailed, ad, a newspaper becomes more convenient. Because आप जब newspaper पढ़ते हैं, your mindset is tuned that you want to. You want to know.
You're consuming. You're consuming.
Correct. But on a television, I can't do that. Correct. You immediately blind spot हो जाता है. Or if I want to just have more recall of a particular jingle or the same messaging in a song manner, I may choose a radio. Right. Where just a recall of the thing, because visually इसमें आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Correct. But if I play Amul दूध पीता है India, आपको everything, all that visuals comes into picture. So each media has a different purpose, and there are different type of communication efforts that you play in this, and you use. So then the other aspect of the role, I need to know what media, how do I buy media, what would be effectively good for me. Those aspects.
You are saying in an FMCG sector, say in Amul, you have to be a sort of a product manager as well as a brand manager, as in both the things are coming in together. But what about the other sectors where product management is very different from what brand management does? As in, what are these two departments? And then how is product management different from brand management?
So see, if you look at the very core way how a product role was back then, it was more a production side. Product comes from production. Okay. Or if you were to look at in today's case, let's say in tech products, for example, let's say Apple or mobile phone. Correct. Yeah. You will have a different defined product, because there, much like in FMCG, there is a production team where that gentleman's job is only to ensure the production is happening.
Correct. Okay.
But the brand team will just ensure कि ये product मिल गया मुझे, मैं इसमें कुछ ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकता. I have to just sell or market the product.
Okay.
But in FMCG's case, what happens is because the dependency or the dynamics are so fast, so you cannot just keep them separated. You need to have somebody. Because let me give an example. COVID ही ले लीजिए. As simple as COVID. Now we sell, crores of packets of milk every single day.
Correct.
Right? Overnight COVID हो गया. People started panicking. People they're not going outside to buy.
Correct.
But milk उनको चाहिए. But so pouch milk जो हमारा था, people were not very comfortable to go out and buy. But they started buying our Tetra Pak.
Correct.
Because you have storage as a convenience.
Yeah.
So overnight, the brand managers of
these
products, they had to adapt. They had to shift. They had to get all the people involved, ready. कि boss हमको ये करना है.
So in FMCG, operations is very much overlapping with brand management. As in, brand manager has to kind of work with the sales team, sales and distribution, as well as with operations team, right? So it has to be.
You have to be hands-on.
Okay, but then again, when we are talking about things like, say, Microsoft or Apple or brands like firms, companies like that, there I think the brand manager is more to do with the end.
The consumer front. It's more on the consumer front that you are.
Okay.
More because there the finished good is something you can't change so easily.
You can't change easily, and they have a product manager who is probably designing, who's probably an IT person also, and is looking at everything, the technical bit as well. Okay.
You have here, the feedback mechanisms are much more faster.
Correct.
And the teams are much more, running on a day-to-day affair.
Okay.
Because the products, as I think, it's like fast-moving consumer goods, right? So the entire system runs very fast, and it's a day-to-day affair. So you have to be on your toes, and therefore that that in a space of FMCG, the roles often overlap.
Okay. So, what is it like for a day like for a brand manager? Say a typical day. What is it like? Having meetings, or you're traveling a lot? What exactly is a typical day for a brand manager?
All of that happens.
Yeah. Okay.
As I said, once the one important thing that the days typically starts with Excels and reports. Okay. Because there is a lot of data that keeps coming in.
Okay. So you have to work with a lot of data as well. As a brand manager, FMCG has to work with a lot of data. Okay.
So I'll give a simple example. We have products being made, left, right, center at various plants that we have.
Right.
And you also have, the sales team who are every day selling the product.
Right.
So you get a lot of data as to, from everywhere.
Okay.
कितना बन गया, कितना transit में है to the markets, कितना आज बिका है, and कितना how much more you can plan to sell over the coming days.
Okay.
So therefore, with this, there of course you will see certain deviations happening.
Right.
जैसे ये numbers हम achieve नहीं कर पा रहे, or the sales team is probably facing some challenges. So you speak to them immediately. Call them up and you take it just to understand what is the problem, what is the market. Scene over there.
Okay.
Why is there any issue? Is there lockdown happening?
Right.
Because every day the norms kept changing. Some cities are locked in lockdown, some are opening up. So which means shops are opening up or closing. Sometimes they're running for less time. So those kind of learnings you get a chance. Then of course market visits are very important because to get the pulse of the customer, you have to go. You meet the shopkeepers, you meet the consumers. When you go to a shop, typically you will be observing that somebody will come, he'll go to the refrigerator, pick up a slab of Amul butter, or Amul ka doodh kharid raha hai. And you may observe, you may even go and interact with them. You just ask, sir, I'm from so-and-so company and I just wanted to know why you chose this product.
Right.
They may be even purchasing competitor brands.
Correct.
You can ask and learn why they prefer A or B.
But is that the job of a brand manager? No. But that's these are
functions.
People. Okay. these are like the other people who are working, but the brand manager needs to go through the market research as well, because to understand the pulse.
So there are two things that happen. One is there are these kind of reports which you get, syndicated reports or secondary researchers come where let's say entities like Nielsen or Kantar would go out and do the report and study for you and share it with you, which is a very common practice. So you get data from there. Okay? But you also need some kind of primary data. So that primary data is when you go to the market. So quite often, so in our Tamul, we ensure that every month we go to all the brand, everybody here goes at least once to a market every month, understand, meet people, discuss, it could be and then come back and just think through what happened. And then if there is any changes that you should do, you can employ.
Okay. So let's take few questions. Okay, what's your experience in joining MICA? A preparation journey and basic tips for us to be a brand manager in future. So tips we will be talking about anyway, as towards the end of the show, he will be talking about tips that you can, build your profile for to become a brand manager in future. But but definitely, you can talk about your experience in joining MICA, preparation journey. And I would also like you to answer about, the bit about as a guest faculty at MICA, what exactly are you teaching there in media economics and brand management? Yeah. So first, let's talk about your MICA experience.
Okay, so MICA,
it was 2013, but
13 and 15, but it's been a very good years for me. One of the best.
So can you talk a little bit about how you prepared for it, and also because there will be a lot of people who will be taking MICAT, and also the kind of interview questions that were asked. Yeah.
So I'll go back to 2012. And then come to 13. So I was working, in sales. I was doing advertising sales. I would go meet training institutes, colleges, brands, and say, "Boss, would you like to advertise on my website?" Back then apps nahi the. Back then websites the. So I would go meet. And one such occasion, I met the brand manager of Adobe, right? And this gentleman told me, that there is, and we were having this conversation, casual conversation. And I told him, sir, I want to do my MBA, I'm planning towards it. And so he said, why don't you go to MICA? And I was like, sir, I've not even heard of this place. Because typically your mindset is tuned. So this gentleman, no, it's a good premier B school in marketing, because you want to do something there. Please do apply. So I was like, okay. Then as time went by, I wrote my CAT, and then my CAT happened. So during the preparation phase, of course, back then my CAT had, I think, of course, verbal, quant and everything, reading verbal and everything, data PI, but they had a very interesting psychometric test, which was unlike what I think many of the other B schools have in their examination, right? I still remember that one question was, of course, there was an MCQ of 30 questions, 40 questions, where there's no right answer. It's your personality that they are identifying. And then there was one interesting question, which was they had given us a picture with different objects in it. Okay, there's a teddy bear, there is a table, there is certainly some jungle, a lot of different things.
Remember,
I mean, it was very visual. And they asked you, write a story around it. Random objects, but write a story around it. So, it was in that spot, at the moment you think and you just collate. So I wrote something about a father telling a story to a daughter where there is a jungle and there is a teddy bear. I mean, the teddy bear is a bear and so on. So the point I'm trying to say is the kind of expectations can be very different from what other B schools might ask you to. That's
right.
Second thing is once you clear, all this, they do a group exercise, which is unlike any other. I think most places have a group discussion. Here, we were a group of, I think, 12 people who were called in that particular batch. And we were given a song. I think Munni Badnaam Hui was the song. And they said, in place of saying, darling tere liye, you make it anything else. And you you have 30 minutes to do it.
Okay.
So we had 12 of us. Somebody started singing, somebody started writing different script to it, somebody made a story around it. And I thought, I may not be able to do all this. So let me just guide and direct all you guys.
Okay.
So after 30 minutes, we finished, and the observing us perform. And that
can you repeat again? Can you repeat again? We didn't get that.
I said at the end of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
End of 30 minutes, we were ready to just perform. And at that moment, the panelists said, "Okay, thank you so much. That's it. We just want to observe you." So it was very. So what they were observing is, how do you do a team management? How can you become resourceful in a given completely unknown scenario? How would you behave? How would you react? How you will keep you calm? So I think these are the kind of things that you should do. And then last one was the personal interview, during which I was asked, because I'm an engineer by education.
Yeah.
So the first question I was asked is, what is Ohm's law?
Okay.
And for a second I was like, why are you asking me this question? But then the fact is, it was there on my resume.
Okay.
So just the fact that a very simple mention of electrical and electronics engineer was enough for them to, and that whether I answer right or wrong is immaterial. The fact is, how did I react to it? That was more important. Okay. And then they asked me several questions about my work ex, which I mentioned was in advertising sales. So questions were about, what is the morals of advertising? Okay. What is according to you? Would you run any type of advertisement on your website, or would you have certain? So this is the experience is more to test you as an individual, because when you qualify certain examinations, they know you have the right intellect or the right aptitude to be. Correct. But we need the right kind of person to become a good manager. Right. Because that's what the institution is going to give. And do you have that drive, or are you clear कि आपको ये करना है या ये पढ़ाई करनी है, या just for the fun of it तो आप नहीं कर रहे हो? Because if I select you and you're not doing you justice, there is somebody who could not join because of you. Right? You lost another person's opportunity. Right. Panelists are going to be very careful about, going to be from the industry, they're going to be from the academia, who have seen probably hundreds and thousands of candidates like us. Correct. So that is very important when you are sitting in that interview, that you keep your calm and be true to yourself, and whatever you write in that resume, be true to it. Don't run around it. Then of course in MICA, my first year was general management, because you all get to learn about various aspects important. And since in my case, I wanted to become a brand manager. So I took up courses more around that. You get to choose your electives in your second year. What majors, they have majors and minors there. Right. कि आपको brand management के सारे courses you can take as major. Okay. And since I came from a advertising or digital background, I said I'll take minor subjects in digital marketing. Okay. So you also have the same option for media marketing. You also have the same option for analytics or advertising management. So it's a very flexible environment. You can choose and pick what you want, and then build a kind of, because end of the day, college is a place where you should learn and get exposure to multiple things. Correct. Yeah. So, you teach there, you're teaching brand management and media economics. So what exactly is media economics? One of the things I personally feel that as a brand manager, you need to keep yourself ready for any kind of information or any kind of change which is happening around. Okay. And as a brand manager, media is one such thing that you should be knowing what is happening there. Whether it is the TV measurement systems changing, whether it is, that's a big thing. Yeah, dimensions. That completely. Abhi aap dekhenge TV, suddenly people are shutting down set-top boxes because why should I pay so much? Correct. For so many channels, right? Exactly. So that's a big consumer behavior change, which from a media point of view. Right. Now you look at, how your Spotify's and your Ganas have flourished. Yeah. Yeah. Back then, radio was the king. People while traveling to office would always listen. Now I don't need a radio. I can just open my Spotify and start doing. Now, thing is, now from an economics point of view, the media is all about how the money is moving. Money from one entity, from the customer to the media house. But what is the kind of audience that is going there? Right. Give an example of, let's say, Netflix. Say 5 to 6 years back, when Netflix largely came to India, they were more pushing international content to India.
Yes.
Right? And everyone was fascinated because the content was unfiltered, anybody could enjoy.
Correct.
But then, so they reached a certain critical mass, right? At that time, Prime was not even there.
Prime was not
your ZEE5 was not there, your Boot was not there, right?
Yeah.
This guy starts creating a category for himself, and people started willingly pay 500 rupees or 999 rupees and so on. But then they realized that the larger India is not interested in this kind of content.
Correct.
Therefore, today you see a lot of regional films coming on these platforms in Tamil or Malayalam or Marathi and so on. And you have an anthology series where you have 4 series, 4 movies in one. But why are they doing it? Because each story will have one character from UP, one character from Maharashtra, one part who is socially affluent, somebody who is from a weaker section. And that way, the customer will be connecting with that content and therefore willing to pay.
Right. Correct.
As an advertiser, I need to observe the way these economies or these kind of trends are happening. I need not go in depth about it, but at least I should be observing these kind of small changes. So as an advertiser, my job therefore is, should I do an in-film integration in a Netflix film because I can't advertise there?
Correct.
Or should I go to a ZEE5 where they are airing their TV shows online? So this kind of a dialogue, or the same you can take with Jio, or with the TV. So in media economics, largely we try to understand what are these nuances happening, what are these opportunity costs which somebody is leveraging, and what is the kind, how the economy is building. Everybody says it's a digital economy, but what makes a digital economy? It's just not telecom towers, it's just not OTT content. It's also the kind of production house that goes behind it. It's also what kind of labor force is coming. So understanding these kind of things, it interests me. So I kept learning more about it. And then when I got opportunities to speak about it in MICA.
Okay. What do you essentially learn in the 3 months of the summer internship? What are the things to keep in mind to ace it? Yeah.
So if you see, any company that you want to do internship, they will probably give you very specific task. It could be consumer research. It could be distribution research. It could be mostly a research related job, so that you go and you understand the market and you come back and you tell me what is good, bad, and ugly.
Right.
What are my areas of improvement. So that 3 months you need to structure your entire plan, because those 3 months are not going to come back to you. Your college is going to start in the second year.
Yes.
So therefore, if there is a particular project, you should break down those 12 weeks into specific goals or tasks that you're planning to do every week.
Okay.
And it should have a cascading effect, because if, let's say, if week 1, I am going to meet to my mentor, talk to them. Week 2, I will go to the market. Week 3, I will do the first preliminary analysis of my study. And then for iterations and so on and so forth.
Correct.
So that by the 12th week, I am ready with my presentation or my study, with my learning.
Okay.
And this internship is very important, because many a times in your final interviews where you're sitting for any company, they will only ask about this.
Okay.
Because they don't need to know about the industry, but how did you go about problem solving there?
Okay.
Because again, it's the test of your character, your ability to learn. Because a company, if they're willing to invest in you by paying you a particular salary, they want you to be the right fit for it.
Okay.
So I would ensure that in my case, I was interning with DDB Mudra. And the project that I had was to do consumer research without talking to consumers.
Okay.
But I needed to understand their digital behavior.
Okay.
Which meant I had to actually get an audience. So I got about 50 odd people across education background, age groups, financial background. And I requested, sir, madam, I will ask you to give me your Facebook behavior data, your mobile phone behavior data, your various websites that you're using, only the raw dump. So every browser has a cache memory, a certain memory. I will take that and I will plot कि सुबह आप 7 बजे Facebook open करते हैं, फिर 8 बजे करते हैं, and so on so forth for every single app on your device. That way, I was able to understand that there's a ton of data that you get. So what is it? So from an agency point of view, they will understand the digital audience. What do they eat? What do they like? What do they wear? What do they shop? Do they? How many times would you visit a Myntra or a Flipkart before actually buying it? So this kind of data, this consumer insight, I had to gain, work on at Mudra, and it was a good learning experience because even I didn't think that I could actually do it, or I would find audience to do it. But then I was able to convince people, tell them I'm not infringing on your privacy, but and whatever I have, you can see it first, then you can give it to me. So that kind of those kind of abilities are important when you do any project. And therefore, I think irrespective of where you're working or where you're interning, please ensure that you have it in a structured way and you do justice to that.
So a few years in brand management, what does that do for your career? Or what is the next step from entry level to senior level? How is the progression? You can talk about Amul and also the general growth progression, as in if it's like different or how. And also what is the best way to start, to begin in this particular career path? If someone has already decided, okay, I want to be a brand manager or brand director, the end of the day, where should that person start in their career?
I'll go with what I have done and then I'll come back to the second part of the question. So typically when you join as a brand manager, you are assigned one brand. And you are more an executive at that level when you join, because there are so many aspects, as I mentioned earlier. You have to coordinate, speak to people, get things done. So, and every day is a new challenge. To be very honest, it's a challenge, but it's a learning opportunity. So you do these kind of tasks. For example, sales report aa gaya, pad liya, and this you do for a good 3 to 4 year period, where you become now almost like very good in that space. Let's say if I'm the brand manager of say a particular automobile, I need to know everything about that space. If I'm the brand manager of say milk, I need to know what kind of customers are there. Does the woman buy the product, or does the man of the house buy the product? Are the children the influencer or not? What kind of media habits are there? And all of that, right? Once, so a couple of years into this, you are given more responsibility, and therefore you become the brand manager of this one. Sorry, I'll just repeat. A couple of years into this, then you get responsibilities, or you get elevated to the senior management. It will take probably 5-6 years, but you then become rather than being a team member, you get a team, where you will have people working, assistant brand managers handling individual brands. So therefore, your responsibility changes from just an executive to a strategist. So just to give an example, if let's say when we say Amul Doodh Pita Hai India, right? It's a very simple line. It says Amul Doodh Pita Hai India. But I need to justify that. I need to validate that. Because it's a statement, right? It's a brand statement. It's a promise. Pura India pee raha hai. But how do I ensure that? So the brand team, from a strategy communication point of view, how are we proving it is ki across Northern India, Western India, and Eastern India, Amul milk is available in pouch. So everybody drinks it. In South market, we have available in Tetra packs. In Northeast also, it is available in Tetra packs. So Amul milk is actually available everywhere across the length and breadth of the country. And therefore, when I say Amul Doodh Pita Hai India, every single part of India drinks Amul milk. It's as simple as that. Right? Or so, because when a brand makes any statement, and it's easy for me to say it, but I need to also have my distribution team ensuring you are available. Bhi hona chahiye.
Exactly.
Things like that. So therefore, that one line, which suddenly becomes much bigger than just an ad or a jingle or a statement.
So then after that, what? Like then once the person becomes a strategic, becomes strategist, then?
So then as you grow up the funnel, you are becoming more and more a leader in the organization structure, where you have more subunits, within the hierarchy reporting to you. And therefore, you envision now what is the future of the company, what is the future of the category. Let me give another example. Today, in most urban households, let's say, abhi COVID ka time se aap le lijiye, the grandfather was also there, the father was also there, and the child was also there. Okay, they all eat parathas, let's say. But the Dadaji might like to eat the paratha with ghee, the father with butter, and the child may like chocolate spreads or peanut spreads and something.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Now, as a brand, I have to ensure that my products are there when they are consuming.
Correct.
I have to own that small portion in that plate.
Yeah. Right.
Correct. So I can either choose to launch a new category, say peanut spread or chocolate spreads, or just hammer about the goodness of ghee and butter.
Okay.
Right. But then you also need to go and do studies about it. What is the potential? What is the scale? Is the business viable? And so on and so forth. We have back end everything. So as you go up the ladder as a leader, the head of the marketing person gets this kind of a macro perspective about what is happening, and therefore we decided. So today, if you see, Amul has butter, it has ghee, it has chocolate spreads, it also has peanut spread.
Right.
So we have a stake in, at least some way we are connecting with every product with the customer. We also have different campaigns which we do. So I will advertise on a kids channel. I will advertise on a news channel. I will advertise on a general entertainment like Star or Z, so that if the child, let's say the male of the house and the female of the house are all exposed to the ad, the promise, and therefore they have the added recall, so that they go back and purchase the product.
Right.
So as you go up, the scope just from execution, more of a leader or a strategist, it becomes just more and more evolved.
So what are some of the online courses that are there just to get a foundation on brand management? Can you tell us?
There are a lot of, more than courses, I would say there are a lot of good newsletters available on brand management, right? With a lot of case studies. You can, as simple as if you go to Kellogg's B School or Harvard B School, they have free newsletters wherein you can get, various cases that, in a month, which you can read on the website or on your phone. We also have a lot of, newsletters like, or even as simple as, this account of Mad Over Marketing. It's a very good, simple way in which they explain what is happening in the advertising or marketing space, how they're building categories, or as I said, various newsletters are there. More than, because see, if you, as I said, because it's an investment you're doing, you go for a paid course, whether it is from any online, entity, you're paying a certain fee. So it's better that you're more conscious about where you're putting it, why you're putting it, than just simply for the sake of it.
Right.
So I would suggest you start subscribing to these kind of newsletters. Definitely read a lot of business newspapers. It could be ET, it could be Mint, it could be the Ken. There are so many of them, right? Just go through the editorial. You don't need to go through the regular thing if you don't like, but just read the editorial, because that will give you some perspective. Now, if you are therefore interested, you like what you're reading, then you go for any of the paid courses. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because here, this is where you can experiment. And because you're at the earliest stage of your career, you like it, you don't like it is very important then, because it's a long journey.
Correct. Yeah.
You can't just unnecessarily deviate.
Correct.
So,
let's take that question about, where do you begin as a brand manager? Like, if you want to be if you want to have a career in brand management, where should you be processed? Also, right out of college, should somebody be doing some kind of internship before applying for any of the, before taking CAT or MyCAT and applying for any of the B schools? So where should one begin, ideally? Yeah.
I would say, since you're just finishing your undergraduate, right? If you're getting an opportunity to do internship, please take it. That's the most simplest way to begin. Okay. There are websites like Internshala, or where you can go get some projects, or even if freelance projects are there, just do small projects, 3 months, 4 months, even 1 month is okay.
Okay.
One aspect of, say, digital marketing, or if, consumer research, distribution, whatever it is, or finance also, it's perfectly fine. Just take one small modules, one step at a time, and you will be able to create a small portfolio for yourself.
Okay.
Because when you apply for, when you're going to say a MICA or a IIM or any good B school, this helps you get more perspective when you are in the campus. Because when the topics are discussed, you get, and I always recommend that do some WorkX before you do an MBA. And that's my personal mantra. But I always recommend, because you'll be able to appreciate the courses.
So how sales experience can help in brand management role?
Very much. So as I said, no brand, take any company in the world, you can take it. They are only a brand because their sales and distribution team is working.
Okay.
If I can have the most beautiful product, but if that product is not able to reach to you, and at that moment when you need that product, then I have failed as a brand manager.
Okay.
Correct? No, classic case जो मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ कि आपको सुबह उठ के टूथपेस्ट लगा के ब्रश करना है.
Correct.
सुबह आप उठे और आपने देखा कि आपका टूथपेस्ट खत्म हो गया. Right? The first thing is you're going to get irritated at yourself. And let's say you like a particular brand of toothpaste. आप बाहर जाएंगे, खरीदेंगे, और now when you go to that outlet, वहां पे आपका प्रोडक्ट नहीं मिला, तो कितना भी मैं ऐड कर लूं कि उससे आपके दांत साफ हो जाएंगे, व्हाइट हो जाएंगे, सॉल्ट है, चारकोल है, does not make a sense because my product was not available. My product was not available because my sales team was not available. So therefore, if I am in sales, I will go there and I will understand why that retailer purchased brand A over brand B.
Correct.
What is the incentive? There might be various trade level issues जो at a brand level आपको पता ना हो, तो it's a problem.
Okay.
So to ensure that shopkeeper is able to do, the sales team has to do, and whatever support the sales team requires, as a brand manager, you have to provide.
So what are the skills, what are the skills that, are important to be a brand manager? As in, you've been talking a lot about, market research, analyzing, communication, probably even visualization and all that. But if you really take brand manager as a brand management, what are the core skills, soft skills and hard skills that you must have in brand management?
I think the first skill that you need to have is be good with Excel.
Okay. That's the hard skills, right?
That's the hard. You need to.
So in hard skills,
even if you don't.
Okay. So in hard skills, can you give like maybe 2 or 3 points that one must have in brand management, and also 3 soft skills? Yeah.
So,
one is Excel.
Because a lot of numbers, and plus you will be burdened with numbers from left, right, center.
Correct.
Right. So you need to be able to see data, and you don't need to keep आपको बहुत hardcore Excel आना चाहिए. Basic भी चलेगा. ठीक है. You will learn along the way. We all learned along the way. That's as simple as that.
Okay.
The next skill I would say is to be able to communicate, not just communicate effectively.
Okay.
For example, if my brand objective is to grow certain way, I can only grow if I can make the product and if I can sell the product.
Correct.
They are two different people who are doing it.
Yes.
But I need to communicate to this gentleman who is making the product. Ki, boss, I want this way, this time, this period of the month. Aap aise kijiye. And there are moments when you have to be assertive, and then there are where you have to just listen to what it is. Same is the case with the sales team also. When they are talking, they are giving their inputs. You listen and you also be assertive with them. So communication and communicating effectively with everybody, all the stakeholders. There are a lot of support functions that you work. Say finance hota hai, quality hota hai, legal hota hai, packaging hoti hai.
Right.
So in सबको आप you have to be a good. Therefore, when you are a good communication expert, the another hard skill which I think you should have is time management.
Right.
Because there is no end to the day and there is no end to the problems that you will be facing.
Okay.
So you need to be able to prioritize. That comes with experience.
Okay.
कि कौन से task को ज़्यादा weightage दें, किसको you can give it some more time.
Okay. And what about the other soft skills?
So, okay, apart from this, I think another soft skill which you should have is being able to negotiate, because in this space, in at least irrespective of the company, forget FMCG or Amul, any business where you're a brand manager, you are constantly negotiating, getting the best deal, getting the best, ROI, returns on investment.
Okay.
For any, because let's say if I have 100 crores, I can use 100 crores to build a new product plant, factory. I can use it to do advertising campaign. I can use it for packaging, anything. So I need to know how judiciously I can do all this, which is where negotiation skills come. But then again, that is something that you build over time. So jitna aapka experience rahega.
Yeah, but for brand management, how much of creative skills you need? How much of creative skills you're required?
Creative skills are, I wouldn't say it's a mandate. To be very honest, it's not a mandate that you need.
Like if you're not a good storyteller, how are you bringing things together? As in how
the brand manager, you are working with a communication agency.
Okay.
So in the advertising space, as a brand, again, there's a brand team, there's a communication agency, and then there is the publisher, right, which I earlier explained.
Correct.
So as a brand manager, I will give my business goals.
Okay.
I will say, boss, if I in this market in UP, I want to do this. In Tamil Nadu, I want to do this. In so-and-so location, I want to do this. Okay. Now, my positioning is, say Amul Doodh Pita hai India, ya Atali Buttery Delicious. But which I will always use as my blanket campaign.
Okay.
But I may also require कि इस market में हम ये packaging को ज़्यादा highlight करें. So visually, how do you come up with it, or what kind of initiatives or marketing campaigns you should drive?
Okay.
We will give a structure to it. The communication agency works out the nuances. Illustrations, TV ads, what messaging is more impactful. So that is the job of the communication agency. Okay. And then comes the media part, where you tell the same requirements you give to the media agency. Okay. In UP, Tamil Nadu and Punjab, this is my problem. What media options are good? They will evaluate and come back to you. Okay. Sir, TV में हम ये कर सकते हैं, print में ये कर सकते हैं, वगैरह वगैरह.
So the brand manager needs to be a people person, of course, because has to communicate and has to have very good, effective communication. Has to be on top of all trends and everything, right? And then has to know Excel, and should be ideally good with numbers, because there's a lot of numbers, and should understand market research, right? So overall, these are the overall skills that you need to have to even think of. I mean, if you're not a people person, maybe brand management might be a difficult thing. If you are more of a...
It will be a task. It will be a challenge.
Because you have to keep talking to so many people, so many departments, and you have to understand everybody. And you have to also make them understand what you need, right? So tell me something. Let's take a few questions. What is the stress level like? And when is it the highest and the lowest for a brand manager? Yeah.
I would say, see, stress is never going to go away. Okay, let's be honest about it. Any job, forget brand manager.
Yeah.
But that's the challenge of it. That's the beauty of the thing.
Yeah.
There is the stress, there's a challenge which comes into place. And when you're able to cross it, when you're able to achieve it, or you're able to break it, that's when you feel that high, that emotional high. Yes, I've achieved something today.
Yeah.
So in this particular business or this particular task, you're constantly going to be working with different problems. Like probably your team, because as I said, when you're a pan-India brand, right, you will be facing issues coming from every single part of the country.
Correct.
Every sales team will have some issues or some, they may have some ideas for you. I think there's a good opportunity. So now you have to weigh in, as I said, time management इसलिए आ जाता है कि आप कैसे इसको weightage देकर आप उनका काम कर पा रहे हैं और उनके लिए काम कर रहे हैं, right? Because the net result of everybody working together is what the brand actually is.
Correct.
Right? If today Amul as a brand everybody says it's a brand which is trusted.
Yes.
Right? Every single year brand trust reports
yeah.
we get a lot of recalls. So the most simplest thing to look at is कि अगर हर दिन आप अमूल को trust करें because आप हर दिन अमूल का दूध पी रहे हैं, which means every day that quality of milk is the same. It has not deteriorated.
Correct.
So for that milk to be good, there is a team which works to ensure that the
correct.
proper, the distribution is proper, and you get the milk sharp 6 a.m. every single day or 7 a.m.
Correct.
So it's a net result of everybody. The brand manager is supposed to get everybody to coordinate as a team and get things done.
Right.
So there will be challenges.
Yeah. Can you expect a brand manager role straight out of a college placement, or will you be hired for a sales role initially and after a few years get the chance to be a brand manager? Yeah.
So in most companies, the brand management function is something you do after you join in FMCG as a management trainee.
Okay. Yes.
It's very clear. You take any FMCG, they will always do this function. Then they will place you in sales for a couple of years.
Okay.
Right?
So you have
with their intention, you have to understand because, as I said, it is you cannot do justice otherwise.
Correct.
आगे जाके है ना अगर कल को brand sales से किसी ने आपको बोला कि सर को ये problem है.
Yeah.
Now, if you have experienced it, you will know what options to do. अगर आपने नहीं किया है तो आप you will be failing to do justice there. So therefore all FMCG brands give you a stint for 1, 2, 3. Sometimes 4 years also, depends on company to company.
Okay.
But they always, invite people from the sales to become brand managers, and almost everybody at Amul has worked in sales,
Okay.
and then they have become, and that is true in other FMCGs as well.
Okay.
As some of my peers who are there in other FMCG brands that I've heard, it's a very common practice.
Okay. There's a question, can one pave their way into being a brand manager after MS in marketing instead of an MBA?
Yeah, I think that again, it's a company to company call, but I don't think there's any major issue.
At the end of the day, they still need to start from sales.
They need to start from sales, irrespective of
where how are they coming? Yeah, correct. Yeah. So, what will be, there's a question, what will be the accountability from company's point of view for a brand manager? How they will assess the performance? Because sales obviously will be the responsibilities of the sales team. Then how brand manager performance is counted?
So see, to be very honest, a brand man, there are different KRAs, key roles and responsibilities. Finished, they have to complete. So if you look at any of these people in the management, the end of the day, a brand is something which is selling. In the most, if you were to see the other side of the brand, it is selling a product, right? So if the sales team is able to sell the product, it is also the responsibility of the brand to ensure that they are selling. Because in the marketplace, let's say there'll be the same company may sell 10 brands, and each of those 10 brands will have a brand manager.
Okay. So
say certain products may sell on e-commerce, certain products may sell in hotels, certain products may sell in DMart, some on your kirana shop or pan ki tapri, right? So each product has its retail point, its sales team, and a brand manager. Okay. So therefore, the brand manager's performance is evaluated how effectively he is able to sell the product, how effectively he is able to communicate it, and therefore there are brand research studies which also come back and say, if I have 10 brands, which of these brands is having better recall? That's at the customer end of the spectrum.
Right.
The other side of the spectrum is how the sales is happening.
Correct.
So a brand manager's evaluation actually happens basis such kind of metrics, such kind of, are you doing justice? The weightage may vary company to company, but that is how a brand manager's success is, how effectively he's able to build the brand.
Right.
And of course, it's the numbers that matter.
Yeah. So what kind of questions are usually asked by a company when they're hiring a brand manager? What kind of profile do they prefer usually? So usually, what do you think? I mean, usually a person joins in the sales team and then gradually, gets climbs up and becomes a brand manager. But what if, someone is a brand manager, is being hired as a brand manager? Then what are the kind of questions that they might be asked by our firm? A non-FMCG or a FMCG?
Whether you're coming from, let's say this scenarios, what is the case? Say if I'm coming from my campus, I will be evaluated on my, my CV, right? Or the kind of projects that I've done, my kind of internships that I've done. Because there the expectation is, if you say you're from marketing, you have a marketing background or a sales background or a supply chain background, how good are you at it? Just at a preliminary level, because we need to know whether you understand what you're talking about. Second is the willingness to, I think, which is very critical. I think it's a very important skill set. I thought I should list it now, is your ability to adapt, because you will always be learning, unlearning and relearning in this business. Because it's a very dynamic, it's a fast moving consumer good. Always, there's some changes happening here and there. You need to be willing to do that. So all these attributes are weighed in when you're in your interviews. When you're going now, let's assume you are already working in some company, but now you want to come and join as a brand manager. The focus of questions in place of projects changes to your work ex in that particular domain. And here the only tweak is how much you understand about the industry. Because when you are working, you have a work ex of say 2 years, 3 years, and now you want to become a brand manager, which means you are willingly coming into a particular industry to work. So your basic understanding of what say dairy is, or what toothpastes are, what telecom is, what automobiles is important. You cannot just, so that is the additional, I think, expectation. And of course, your work ex therefore, adds to it. So because at the end of it, any company that you join, at least at the initial level, at the levels that we all join in, they know that they will, the candidate will be trained. So training will only happen if your willingness to learn. So therefore, those attributes are something they check. And I think the last and most important thing that any company, irrespective of FMCG, does check is your fitment in the culture of the organization. Because the last interview in any company will be HR. It's more than it's the salary negotiation. It is the cultural fitment with the way, because that's how the operations work. It's a people entity, right? A company is made up of people. So if you are, even you have the best intellect, best attitude, best attributes, but if you don't have the right attitude, it fails right there.
So what are the risk levels in brand management in different fields, in different sectors rather?
The biggest risk for any brand manager is losing market share. That's a reality that they have to deal with every day. But that's a challenge, as I said. More than a risk, it's a challenge. It's a part of the business. And you need to be always up your game against your competition. So that's the reality. Having that is what more important. Risk, therefore, when you're cognizant of this fact, when you are, and आपको पता है ये problem होने वाला है, you take preventive measures. So you have to be more proactive than reactive. Reactive issues तो होंगे, आपको करना भी पड़ेगा. मगर जितना preparation आप करेंगे, so even in advertising campaigns that we do, there is a pre-preparation period. कि अगर मुझे से 15 अगस्त को एक कैंपेन लॉन्च करना है, तो उसके लिए who are the people I have to speak to? If I'm launching a product on certain day, what all the things I need to do, and get things moving. And then आपका launch हो गया, but then वो एक दिन आपका अच्छा सेल आ जाएगा, लेकिन आपको sustain करना है every single day. It's not a one day sale, it's an everyday sale in this business. So therefore, as I said, with the reports and the numbers, and your day typically moves around this. But trust me, it's very exciting. I mean, I've been doing it for now for 6.5 years. It keeps me every day awake. मतलब वो ऐसे नहीं मैं बोल के उठता हूँ, लेकिन when I walk into the office, वो हो ही जाता है.
Right. How do you effectively communicate with customers as a brand manager?
One thing is there are two things that we do. One is we listen to conversations on social media. Number one.
Okay.
Every single brand manager is, I would always recommend, I mean, I personally do it. We listen to the conversations on Twitter, on Facebook. Social media listening, therefore, is very helpful in the last, I would say, 1 decade, where you actually get to hear what the customer is saying. The second thing is customer complaints. It is a part of the business. You can't, it will always be there. Aap telecom mein ho, automobile mein ho, ya food business mein.
Right.
Complaint to customer karega. Some will be genuine, some will be fake. Every possibility you can expect.
Okay.
But there is a small element of truth in that complaint.
Okay.
Which is an insight. With that, again, when you listen and you talk, and of course, when the complaint comes, you respond to that also.
Right.
So you earn the trust. As I said, when in times of crisis, if you are there with the brand, with the customer, that is the goal, that you have hit them on the right spot.
Right.
And lastly, जो मैंने बताया कि हम जो market visit करते हैं, we go, we meet, we interact. So that primary one-on-one, also gives us a lot more chances to learn.
Correct.
So interacting via listening, interacting via complaint resolution or the feedback, because these are the only avenues to connect with your customer.
Correct.
So that is how we.
Yeah. What are the few things that our MBA aspirants can keep in mind to prepare themselves from now, if they are if they're planning to choose brand management as their career path? Maybe a tip or two. That's it.
I'll keep it very simple.
Yeah.
That I always felt as a student when I was applying for an MBA program or while working, is to stay calm.
Okay.
Yeah. Please stay calm. Don't put too many, pressure, unnecessary pressure. Do the right amount of pressure is important, but don't push yourself to extreme limits. Number two, if you want to be a brand manager, then take small steps, do small projects. I'm just summarizing in a way what I just said. Take those small steps, and if you like it, then go in that direction. If you don't like it, it's perfectly fine. There are a lot of opportunities in the world for a lot of things that you can do in the business world. Right. So, go ahead with that. If you want to do your own startup, do it. If you want to work in a different industry, go ahead. If you don't want to do sales, go to advertising, do it. But, and it's not that if you MBA karne gaya, to aapko brand manager hi banna. Right. While I have my fellow batchmates who joined with a certain plan and they ended up with a different career. Correct. And that's perfectly fine. They're doing well. So I can assure you that when you're going to any B school for any such program, it's okay to be flexible also. You don't have to be rigid. In my case, it was different, but I can assure you, I have live examples that who do it. And lastly, do networking. I think I missed that. I think it's one important thing said. Please do networking. Please do connect with people who are from the industry on LinkedIn. Just talk to them. See, networking is not about asking a job. We often mistake it like that. Yeah. So please go connect on LinkedIn with people or any other platform and just take their consent if they want to discuss about the industry because you want to learn about it. Okay. And trust me, people are more than happy to share their 2 cents on it.
All right. Before we wrap up, I would like to thank all our attendees and I would like to thank Abhishek Varghese. Thank you so much for being here and giving such insightful information on brand management and so many tips to us and our students. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All the best to everybody for your future.
Thank you.